We are live and on the air. We welcome you to Deerfield football live from Adams Field. Warriors finally back at home after a long road trip. Warriors coming in this game face off against the Evanston Wildcats. Both teams coming in this game 1-6. I'm Drew Weiner, joined alongside Brody Sheffrin, which should be an exciting broadcast between two teams hungry for a win.
Absolutely, Drew. These two teams sit near the bottom of the CSL South, and both teams trying to break a losing streak. Deerfield fell 42-0 last week at the hands of Glenbrook South, and Evanston lost last week 35-6 to New Trier. So both these teams are coming off performances they certainly are not happy with and are going to be coming out with some fire tonight.
Yeah, Evanston coming in this game 1-6 on a 6-game losing streak. They took care of business week 1 against Niles North. Niles North, really not a good team. It's the only way to put it. But the 6-game losing streak is the longest losing streak they've had since 2007. So you know these guys are hungry for a win. And for Coach Miles Osei, you know he wants to get that second win and his first year at the helm.
Absolutely, Drew. Miles Osei, very accomplished head coach, the first black head coach in Evanston football history. He was an all-state football player himself, so he certainly got the experience to get this done on the road tonight. But Coach Guder and his Deerfield Warriors are going to be ready to rock, and we're going to get started very shortly.
And Coach Guder 2 weeks ago picked up his first win in a resounding 24-2 victory against Glenbrook North. And we're about to kick this one underway. Warriors set to receive. We expect Evanston to have back their star player, Justin Johnson, who's missed the last 2 games, and he is a huge part of this offense and defense.
Johnson, just an absolute lightning bolt. He's got multiple Big Ten offers and missed those last 2 games, and the Wildcats really missed him. Good to be back in the press box as Wildcats getting ready to get this thing started. Jasper Barney standing on the left hash, ready to kick this one away.
Breast Cancer Awareness Night at Adams Field, and we're off. A booming kick will bounce in on the back of the end zone. The Warriors will start with the ball at the 20-yard line.
Interesting to see George Olation back there as the main return man. We saw a lot of Jaden Paulzette earlier in the year, and he's back there as well, but haven't seen much of Olation. As of late, he's really come on for this Deerfield Warriors squad, and we'll be interested to see if we see a lot of him tonight.
Paulzette's had a fantastic year returning kicks, both punt returns and kick returns. You know, I know he was talking to him, he was frustrated that he was taking off the kick return duties, and quite frankly, you know, he has had such a good year. I'm surprised that Coach Guder made the call, but they're a touchback. It's the first play for the Deerfield offense.
It's a little bit of a hard count there to try and get the Wildcats offside, steal a few yards, unsuccessful.
Yablin going to keep. Looking to throw on the first play. He's going to tuck it down and run for a loss. It's a good play, chased down by number 23, Theo Davis.
Yeah, just good discipline there from that Evanston defense, Drew. Yablin tried to roll out, make something happen, only had one guy going downfield, and he didn't even seem very sure that Yablin had the football and he was ready to throw, so nobody really open for Deerfield. Evanston just rallying to that football and making a nice tackle.
I think what's going to be key is just looking at these two teams, the size advantage Evanston has. Especially the way Deerfield likes to play the game. It's not a lot of passing. It's going to need to be controlling the line of scrimmage. It's going to be tough at a size disadvantage for the Warriors.
Absolutely. Talked about this earlier. One of the big keys to this game is neutralizing Evanston's size up front as that play goes nowhere. This Deerfield offensive line is really going to have one of their better games of the season tonight in order to compete with this size of Evanston, because despite them having a rough year, they still got all these big guys up front that are certainly forces to be reckoned with. Big third down coming up here, just 1 minute into this one.
It's a very talented Kits team that, you know, they've had a rough year, but they got 2 winnable games. Deerfield this week, obviously, and then home against GBN. Both games they feel they can win. It's going to run a toss play to Schaefer. Gets a couple, but he's going to be well short of the first down marker.
Yep, 3rd down and 11. Deerfield decides to run the football. And now they're going to have to punt it away.
It's interesting, the past couple years with Deerfield and quarterback Mac Jones, there was a lot of an air raid offense, outside the tackles. One might call it more modern offense. And, with Coach Gooder in his first year, you adjust your personnel, and it's a lot different than what we've seen in years past. And I give him credit for trying something new. Conklin to punt it away. A low-line drive. It's going to bounce out of bounds at the 41-yard line. It's a good starting field position for the Wildcats.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who comes out at quarterback for Evanston. We've seen a few different guys this year, including Jack Everts, who we expect to be the guy. And Deerfield's going to have their hands full early on defense, having to start this possession off in their own territory.
Jake Everts heading up and down year at the quarterback position, only threw for 27 yards last game. But this running attack's really what's been super successful. As that first carry goes to Sean Hobson. Hobson's ran for over 100 yards in 5 out of their 7 games. Really been the main source of the Wildcats' offense.
It certainly has, Drew, as they get set for second down in the pistol formation. Going to see a lot more modern offense with Evanston, as we talked about earlier. Deerfield with a heavy box. Kit's running again.
Outside run to Hobson. Hobson stretches it across the 35-yard line, down around the 33.
And Drew, we talk about this Deerfield team on offense. They got to get ahead of the chains, because in that situation where it's third down and 11, you're not able to do what you want to do to be successful in that situation, as they showed on that last drive with a third down run going for only a couple. And it looks like the Warriors jumped here.
Yeah, it's going to be a free first down for the Kits, and that's the kind of stuff you want to avoid.
Yeah, you get an opportunity early to try and get off the field on 3rd and 3, and a mistake like that just cannot happen.
Yeah.
See one-on-one man coverage on the outside for the Warriors.
Their handoff to Hobson. Hobson's got some space. Sean Hobson cutting upfield. Hobson down around the 10-yard line. A shifty run from the junior.
Absolutely, Drew. Offensive line gave him a little bit of a hole, and he was able to find it. And one jump cut later, and that's a chunk play of 18 yards.
On the keeper is Evers, as he's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Unbelievable option play there from Everts. Looked like he was going to hand that thing off to Sean Hobson, but able to pull it back the last second, and he had daylight untouched into the end zone from 20 yards
That's
out.
a fantastic play call, Brody. You're running the ball with Hobson, and you break out a zone option play, and Everts keeps it and takes it in, as you said, nearly untouched.
Good speed from Jake Everts as well.
And Barney's extra point is up and good. Just like that, Kit's off to a nice start, leading 7-0. 8:20 left to play in the first quarter.
Welcome back to Deerfield High School for tonight's coverage of varsity football between the Deerfield Warriors and the Evanston Wildcats. Brody Sheffrin alongside Drew Weiner. Thrilled to be with you tonight, and Evanston's gotten off to an absolutely dream start, Drew. They force a 3-and-out and march down the field in a couple of minutes to take an early lead.
Barney set to boot it off a second time. Elation it's going to be a touchback. I think Deerfield High School, if it goes to the end zone, automatically a touchback. Looks like Elation wanted to return that. He almost tried to keep his feet in play.
Yeah, we know how electric Georgia Elation can be. We've seen glimpses over the last couple of years, and
you hope for something different, but this really feels like for Evanston, this is a get-right game. And they've lost 6 in a row. It hasn't been the season Coach Osei wants, obviously, in his first year at the helm, but this feels like a good opportunity to grab a nice win and then go against a weaker team next week in GBN. Oh, it's Q Bassett with a big hole. Bassett cutting up field, taking tacklers forward down near the 41-yard line.
absolutely fantastic run from Q Bassett there. Great blocking from the interior of that Warrior offensive line, and Q Bassett just used that speed that we know he has. He's got track speed, Drew. It's a big play to get this offense going.
Warriors would also like to pick up win number 2, and Q Bassett trying to carry the team on his back. He's really been the big source of the offense. Started the season as the second-string running back, but overtook that number 1 job with an injury, as this time goes backwards. That was Logan Fields on the stop. Fields is a beast, to say the least. He is a explosive linebacker who is all over the field.
Yeah, expect to be hearing his name a lot tonight as Yoblin gets the play call, breaks the huddle. Warriors in that flex bone kind of flying V type formation with one receiver wide at the top of your screen.
Motion from Schaefer. Yoblin's going to pitch it back, and the ball is taken away by the Kicks. Going the other way, and this is going to be an Evanston touchdown. How about that?
Unbelievable, Drew. Michael Pryor just snatched that ball right out of Louis Schaefer's hands as Yoblin was trying to pitch it, and there was no stopping him from there.
Injured Warrior on the field. This is Evan Yoblin.
This is something you absolutely hate to see. He went down earlier in the season with a concussion.
And Brody, both the backup quarterbacks, the second and third string quarterbacks, are both out this game, and Jack Agard and Jake Berkowitz. So if Yoblin's out, who's going to play quarterback?
I cannot say I have an answer for you, Drew. We will have to find out. Just a scary sight as Yoblin is down on the field. Coach Gooder over there with him. Trainers over there. At this point, all we can do is hope for the best. We'll be back shortly.
Evan Yablin's still on the ground, the stretcher being brought out, and it's just absolutely awful. You hate to see this.
Yeah, very, very scary sight at Adams Field right now.
The game continues or not, nothing else matters besides the health and safety of Evan Yablin. This is the scariest part of football, and you just absolutely hate to see it.
Yeah, he's been down for probably over 10 minutes now.
I believe the ambulance is now coming to escort him. This is
just brutal. They haven't even been able to get him onto the stretcher yet.
Hear the sirens. This is
just a sickening injury.
Just your heart aches for a kid like that who's been in the program, worked his tail off. Just a great kid, and just it's tough.
Absolutely, there's no way to put this into words. This is just a really tough sight.
Yeah.
We'll keep you guys updated on whether this game continues or not. But
sending our prayers and
absolutely best wishes to Evan Yablin.
Evan Yablin being taken away in a stretcher, and we're feeling the emotions, Proteus. Obviously, I can't even imagine what it's like for the players. It's just, oh God, it's devastating.
Yeah, it's hard, and it's gonna be hard to play football for 3.5 more quarters after such a freak injury like this. As you see, Evanston starting to warm up again after the extended pause, and Coach Gooder talking to his squad.
It's going to be a 3-minute warm-up period, and the game will resume again. But none of that truly matters right now.
All eyes are on the health and safety of Evan Yablin, who hopefully is in good hands right now.
The Deerfield coaches telling their guys to refocus, but it's a lot easier said than done.
Absolutely. You see one of your brothers go down like that, who's been in the program for all 4 years, been one of your better players for all 4 years.
The youth program, too. He's been through it all. And only in the second last game of the season, you just hate to see it go out like this. You just hate to see anyone deal with anything close to this. And this is just, it's devastating, and it truly is the worst part of football.
It really is.
Again, we're sending all our prayers towards Evan Yablin and hoping he gets good treatment and gets well. Just scary scene here at Adams Field.
Absolutely, and when we do come back, it'll be Evanston kicking an extra point, try and go up 14-0 after their scoop and score touchdown.
We'll be back. Welcome back. We're just about ready to get play underway as the Kits kicking the extra point.
The previous play was a fumble recovery touchdown. Evanston is attempting the extra point.
Evanston she caught up in the game. Evanston got a quick stop, quickly turned it into points, and took a fumble for a touchdown. Resulted in a long delay, an injury delay for Evan Yablin. But we are back, ready for play as Jasper Barney to attempt the extra point. It's up and good. 14-0 Wildcats.
Just 5 minutes into the game, Drew Evanston has already jumped out to this 2-touchdown lead in a game that they really need for first-year head coach Miles Osei. Deerfield trying to generate some sort of response on offense when we come back. Okay. All right, let's go.
Welcome back. Barney to kick it away. Relation back to receive, and we expect to see Jackson Sturzik out there at quarterback. He was warming up. Sturzik, the fourth string quarterback, with both Jack Agrid and Jake Berkowitz out this game due to injuries.
Yeah, Sturzik, one of those guys, this tight end and linebacker for this Deerfield squad, and cannot imagine he expects to be taking any snaps at quarterback this year, but he does have experience in the past.
Believe he was the freshman team quarterback, a lefty, but not sure how much quarterbacking he's done over the past year or so, or at least in practice.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do quarterback practice when you're practicing with the offensive line, the receivers group, and the linebackers group.
Yeah.
But he gets under center here with Bassett right behind him. I got to imagine this is going to be a heavy dose of Q Bassett.
Yes. Handoff goes to Bassett, and he is driven backwards.
Evanston saw that coming from the start, Drew. Just all over that play. Bassett lost about a yard.
Forward progress was stopped at the 19-yard line. And it's hard to go back to a football game and to really think about anything else, but 6:20 left on the clock. It'd be interesting to see what Jackson Sturzik and the Deerfield offense could do. Sturzik's gonna keep it. This is going nowhere. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Looked like that was Cash Nelson on the stop.
Yeah, I tried that little read option play with Sturzik, and once again, Drew Evanston's disciplined defense has been all over anything Deerfield has tried to throw at him. As we hit the halfway point of this opening quarter.
Can't imagine they'll let Sturzik throw. And just hand it off to Bassett or run one of those pitch plays.
2 receivers split wide.
And Sturzik's going to keep it, trying to get to the outside. It's a positive yardage, but well short of the first down marker. Logan Fields yet again on the stop. He is truly everywhere. Runs a 4.7 40. He is as athletic as you get for a high school linebacker.
Yeah, you do not see that all the time. That downhill speed out of Fields is, we expected to see it, and we've certainly seen it so far. Conklin out to punt for the second time tonight. This Deerfield offense just continues to struggle.
Conklin's punt sails well out of bounds. Let's see where they marked this. It's a favorable marking at the 43-yard line.
That Conklin kick was moving right to left and went out of bounds.
Some commotion from the crowd. Not quite sure what that was.
Yeah, we couldn't quite make out what they were saying up here. This is Evanston offense back out on the field. And it looks like they made a change at quarterback, Drew.
Interesting. They're going to hand it off to Hobson, and Hobson is gone. Sean Hobson streaking into the end zone. Touchdown Wildcats.
Unbelievable, Drew. Evanston able to get a stop, and first play from scrimmage. Hobson houses it, 43 yards. It's 20-0 Wildcats.
The new quarterback for Evanston, also number 8. Jake Evers was number 8 as well. But as you could see, a different quarterback.
Yeah, he's wearing 6 tonight. He's been wearing 8 for a big portion of the season.
Evers was an 8.
Got to imagine Evanston's got some different jersey combinations that.
Yeah, there was not an official roster, so we're kind of going off of what we see. As the extra point from Barney is good. But I believe the quarterback in was Tyron Gant. Tyron Gant Jr. That is. Gant's mainly played on JV this year, but saw some game time in the Maine South game. So he's had some experience. We believe that's the quarterback that's in the game right now. Kind of surprised. We'd heard there was a short leash on Everts, but he really led them for a touchdown drive. So
yeah, he looked pretty sharp. You wonder if they're just experimenting with different things, especially with the way this game has gone so far. But when you got a running back like Sean Hobson, you don't need much quarterback play to be successful.
That's for sure. We talked about how Hobson has ran for over 100 yards in 5 of the 7 Kits games this year, and he is well on his way to having number 6 in the 100-yard total.
Yeah, he's definitely approaching that number already. As Evanston gets set to kick this thing away. And you look at some of these numbers that are out here for Deerfield right now. This is pretty much their entire offense that's on kick coverage right now.
Yeah. Barney 4 for 4 on touchbacks. That's 4 kickoffs for Jasper Barney at the 4:37 mark in the first quarter.
Yeah, the 5'11 senior with a massive right leg.
And there truly in high school football is a massive advantage if you can, get a touchback, because they get the ball at the 20-yard line, and it's really starting behind the odds for any offense, especially the way Deerfield's offense has been moving the ball all year.
Absolutely, and even in college at the 25 in the NFL with the crazy new kickoff rules that they have now, you see a lot better starting field position in a lot of football games that you're watching. But here, 20-yard line is fantastic for the defense to be setting up at. Stirs to throw here.
Sturzik's going to throw, rolling out, and he is swarmed by numerous Kits defenders.
Deerfield trying to mix it up a little bit. Evanston was one-on-one man coverage. They brought the house, and they were able to get home on first down. Big loss there, driving the Warriors back to their own 13-yard line.
Deerfield offense and get a positive. I believe all their plays on first down have gone for losses. Hugh Bassett trying to get to the outside, and he is hawked down by Michael Pryor.
Looked like a bit of miscommunication there between Sturzik and Bassett. Bassett was not ready for that ball. It took him a second to really gather himself, and that was plenty of time for the Kits to get over there in time and bring him down. Gain of just 1. See if the Warriors try to play this conservatively here or try and test out Sturzik's arm. Because at this point, I don't know if there's that much more to lose.
I think we know what the answer is, Brody. And they're going to toss it to Schaefer. Schaefer has some space. Schaefer takes it up across the 20-yard line. Gets right around near, a little past the original line of scrimmage, but again, well short of the first down marker.
Yeah, 4th down and 9. Deerfield sending out the punt team for the 3rd time this quarter as the clock ticks under 3 minutes to go. And
I wonder if Drew Conklin will break the record for most punts in a season for Deerfield program history.
He has certainly spent a lot of time out there. He has paid his dues out on the field this season and certainly doing it tonight. Done a solid job tonight. Punting, couple of 25, 30-yard punts. Able to flip the field just a little bit as this is another good punt. Line drive.
It's Muff. Bounces back, picked up around the 35-yard line. And bounces to the outside and is taken on right around the 40. That was not on the roster. Never heard of a school that just does not have an official roster, but Evanston does not have one.
So Deerfield defense coming back out there. Ball will be spotted at the Evanston 41. And Drew, this is the first play, despite being up 21-0, that Evanston has ran in their own territory tonight. And it's 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. It is Tyron Gant back in at quarterback, the young sophomore. 6'2".
That truly is stunning, Brody. Up 21-0, and it's your first snaps in your own territory.
3 receivers wide.
Handoff goes. So this is a new running back in the game. Not Sean Hobson.
I believe that's Shamir Irving.
Shamir Irving, yeah. Jaden Paulzette on the stop. Paulzette celebrating his 18th birthday tomorrow.
Wishing a happy birthday to Jaden Paulzette
and Jackson Sturzik,
who's turned 18 today.
Gets to play quarterback.
Can't imagine that's the birthday present he anticipated,
no.
But he is now taking snaps under center.
We've yet to see Justin Johnson, the star receiver for Evanston, looking like he might be out another game as Gant throws it well behind his receiver. I believe that is the first attempted pass by the Kits this game.
Yeah, I was looking for McKinney there. Nothing doing. Deerfield with their second chance to get off the field on the 3rd down. Got to imagine Evanston's going to go back to the ground game that's done so well for them all year. It's interesting to see the clock running after an incomplete pass. It's stopped now. 3rd down and 1 at midfield. Kits in the shotgun.
Handoff's going to go to Irving, and he's going to be short. That's stopped by the Deerfield defense.
Algernon Williams in on the stop, and Drew, he's really the main guy on this Deerfield team that can keep up with the 280, 290 size of Evanston. Williams, 285. Absolute force of nature there, and he's going to have to do it one more time as Evanston gets set for 4th down. 3 receivers wide. Gant in the shotgun.
Looks like we're seeing a lot of Evanston's second-team offensive guys in. The handoff goes to Irving, and he plows his way forward for a first down.
Good run there from Shamir Irving. He was not going to let anything stop him from getting the first down. It was good run defense from the Warriors, but Irving was able to make a slight cut outside and move the chains.
Essentially the final play of this first quarter. 21-0 Kets. Gant to throw. It's going to go deep. It is. It's caught. Did he get a feet in bounds? He get in bounds? He did. What a catch. My goodness.
Unbelievable catch from, I believe that was Kanan Hancox Jr. What a fantastic play.
That was
for Evanston. A beautiful
play.
Beautiful throw from Tyron Gant.
My goodness.
And Hancox with a fantastic play on the ball after some good coverage by Charlie Morris. He just didn't turn around, Drew.
Yep. Handoff goes to Irving, and he is taken down for a loss. Deerfield run defense starting to come together here in this drive.
It's interesting to see Evanston try and go with some tempo there after that big play. Try to catch the Warriors defense offside. It worked the last time when Everts took it in untouched, as we have finally reached the end of what has been a very painful first quarter for the Deerfield Warriors. Losing star quarterback Evan Yoblin and trailing 21-0 at home to the Evanston Wildcats.
We will be
back shortly.
Welcome back to the second quarter. It was a dominant first played by the Evanston Wildcats as they lead the Deerfield Warriors 21-0, looking to pick up their second win of the year, and they are knocking on the door for yet another score. I'm Drew Weiner, joined alongside Brody Sheffrin. As Gant's going to keep it, he's going to throw. He's got a receiver caught. Going out of bounds is, I believe, Kanan Hancox. Kanan Hancox Jr., that is.
Third down and 3 for this Deerfield defense, Drew. And I know I hate to talk about moral victories, but getting off the field here and holding Evanston to 3 would just be a big-time morale boost for this Deerfield Warriors team that has really been struggling, and try and create a little bit of a spark for this offense to get going.
A lot of people say moral victories don't exist, but when you're down 21-0 at the beginning of the second quarter, moral victories exist. Ball's on the ground. It is recovered by the Warriors and Jackson Sturzik. They not only get the stop, but they force a turnover as well and get the ball back to their offense.
And a little bit of momentum here to start the second quarter for the Warriors. Jackson Sturzik on his birthday just jumped on that ball after a miscommunication from the Wildcat offense.
It looked like Gant thought he was handing the ball off to Irving, and Irving thought Gant was going to keep it. Ended up on the ball on the turf, and Sturzik fell on top of it. Well, the Warriors at least winning something, and that is the turnover margin. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I take that back. It's 1-1.
A little bit of momentum here for the Warriors. We'll see what they can do with it. They're starting with the football on their own 11-yard line. Sturzik back under center. 2 receivers wide. Q Bassett in the backfield. End around to Moros goes nowhere.
Morrow's the ball carrier. Tackled by Evan Dell.
Warriors offense trying to get creative here. The Kits defense sniffed that one out.
Yeah, and Evanston, I've been most impressed with tonight with their defense. They have not overcommitted to anything. They've just been sitting back and letting Deerfield run right into them, and disciplined tackling has allowed them to have a lot of success on the defensive end tonight.
Come on.
2nd and 10 for the Warriors. They're going to pitch it. Ball's on the ground, and Schaefer falls on it at the 1-yard line.
Near catastrophe for this Warriors offense as they continue to go backwards. Now faced with a 3rd and 20 from their own 1-yard line.
Whatever momentum the Warriors might have had, I think you could kiss it goodbye.
It's safe to say that
Almost destined to end in a safety this possession.
we'll see. A safety might be a good result at this point. Trying to avoid a defensive touchdown, kind of get out of the shadow of your own end zone here. Whether you got to give up 2 points to do it might be a worthy sacrifice, Drew, as they get ready for 3rd down and 20.
And they tried a QB sneak, and let's see where they mark this. He did make it back to the line of scrimmage. I mean, they're as close as you can get to the goal line. Might have lost some yardage, but is inches away from that goal line. My goodness, look at where that ball is.
Yeah, you can see the nose of the football is basically on white turf, which would signify the goal line. Officials both came in with a very similar spot. They seemed confident as they side judges ran toward the field, and Deerfield's going to punt again. Drew Conklin. This is going to be a very tough situation for the sophomore as he stands at the back of his own end zone, but gets it away nicely.
That's a really good punt from Conklin. It's received at the 42-yard line. Some space on the return, but a great job by the Deerfield special teams unit. Wow.
Unbelievable. Drew Conklin with a great boot and good coverage. Evanston does get the ball on the Warrior 32, although that's got to be a victory if you're Deerfield
Massive
special
victory.
teams there. Yeah, near safety, near disaster, and you're able to get the ball away and give your defense a little bit of room.
There's a flag. Let's see what this is. Oh, no. False alarm, no flag.
Kits will take over at the Deerfield 33-yard line. You just see there as their offensive line comes out the sheer size advantage that Evanston's got.
It's tough to compete, you know, when you're at such a disadvantage at the line of scrimmages. As Jake Everett's back in the game, and he fumbles the football on the snap, but he is able to recover it this time.
That is back-to-back bad snaps from Evanston, just something we have not seen yet today.
Yeah, Hobson ran into him, so interestingly enough, it looks like the Kits' first-team offense is back out there after a couple drives from the second team.
Somebody else. It is 2nd down.
That's a big loss there. 2nd and, I believe, 14.
Yeah, the center, Sonny Vega, is not on the same page with quarterback Jake Everett right now.
Handoff goes to Hobson. Hobson, a patient runner. The Deerfield defense all over that. David Lasardi on the stop, taken on at the 34-yard line.
This is the first 3rd down and long that we've seen so far for Evanston this game. They've been doing a good job staying ahead of the chains, but 3rd down and 11 here for this Deerfield defense. That feels like an obvious passing situation for Evanston the first time.
Evers is yet to attempt to pass this game. Gant threw it a couple times, but see if Evers will pass it here. And oh my goodness, fumbles the snap, ball's on the ground. It's still loose. It's picked up by Deerfield and David Lasardi. And he stumbles down at the 47. Oh, he had nothing but daylight in front of him if he could have stayed on his feet.
Lasardi was going for the scoop and score, but it looked like he was thinking about too many things at once, and he was eaten by the turf monster, but nonetheless, Drew, the Warriors will take over at the Evanston 47, and just a couple of careless mistakes on these last couple drives for the Wildcats, Drew.
And we had talked about how well Evanston was playing and how this was the kind of game Coach Osei really felt like this team needed, but all of a sudden, lackadaisical, sloppy, just careless mistakes that cannot happen. 3 separate instances where the exchange is getting fumbled. That, Coach Osei's furious. He knows that's unacceptable from his group.
Absolutely, Drew. This Deerfield offense will have their best field position so far tonight. Take over in Evanston territory with Sturzik under center.
Looks like the refs are going to send off an Evanston player to the sideline at his future Dillard. Hope everything's all right. Really, Evanston on the doorstep of making it 28-0, and just like that, just gotten extremely sloppy. And you think about where Deerfield was, backed up at their own 1-yard line. They get the punt off, and they get the football back in plus territory.
Yeah, it just shows how monumental that punt was. Bassett is driven hard to the ground by Evan Bell.
I think at some point they probably should whistle those for a flag just to put a stop to it.
Yeah,
it's obviously a football play, but you just think of the direction this game's headed, and you want to avoid an injury, and that feels like a play where the play's over. You understand the guy wanted to finish his tackle, but I think if you're the refs, you could put a hard stop to it.
Yeah, and Evanston has been doing that all night.
Yes.
They have been finishing their tackles. Some very good fundamentals on the defensive side of the ball for Evanston. Cannot say that about the offensive side. As Sturzik is going to keep this one himself and go down hard.
It's going nowhere. That was
number 47.
number 47.
Loss of 2 on the play. 3rd and 10.
Not on the roster.
Our PA announcer, Sam Schwartz, also working with the same stipulations as we are with the roster situation for Evanston.
So I have a correction. Number 3 is Ray Owens. We apologize for that again. There's not a number 3 on the roster, so we're doing our best to try to get everyone's name out, but not the easiest. And if anyone knows the names and can help us out, it would be much appreciated. It's a great tackle there by Cash Nelson.
Ripped up by Cash Nelson.
4th down now coming for the Warriors, and looks like the offense is going to stay out there. As they should, Drew. 4th down and 7. Chance to try and get something positive going on offense is the Warriors with just 11 total yards of offense, something that we saw in the Lake Forest game as well in the opening week. This offense has just really struggled.
Maybe it's us, Brody. Both the games we've broadcasted have gone a very similar way.
I'd hate to say that we are the curse of Deerfield football, but
Sturzik rolling out. I am perplexed by that play call. You have a left-handed quarterback, and you roll him out to his right.
yeah, there was really no place for him to even throw that football as he's taken down nowhere near the line to gain.
That is bad football right there. It is just, that's bad. That's the only way to put it. It's bad.
Just yeah, even if they got him going to his left, Evanston was all over that. He had 3 guys in Sturzik's face, just never even gave him the chance to make a play. He flushed himself from the pocket a second and a half after the ball was snapped, and only had 1 guy going downfield that way. And
so we have our 3rd quarterback in the game. Oh, yeah, I believe this is Michael Pryor, and a Wildcat situation, and Pryor's loose. Michael Pryor down the sidelines. Does he have the speed to get there? No, he is taken down by Jaden Polzette. But what a run from Michael Pryor.
Yeah, it looked like
inside the 10.
Looked like a little bit of a Wildcat run there from Pryor's. We'll take another look at that. He found a hole and found daylight. Great job from Jaden Polzette to take him down, but My goodness, Drew, there was just no stopping Michael Pryor. That's the second time we've seen him explode. First time was on the defensive side of the ball, and now taking the snap as well. Just fantastic play design from
Pryor's a big guy, too. 220 pounds. He was moving. That is some serious speed.
Yes, he was. Penalty call on the Warriors and force half the distance to the goal. We're not sure.
Not sure what 5-yard penalty, maybe a face mask, half the distance, yeah. Good call.
And Drew, we've been preaching it for years. These officials need microphones, clear up a lot of the confusion.
You know, at least someone on the sideline for communication with the PA as Pryor getting the keeper. That's a couple.
Pryor not listed as a quarterback, listed as a running back, and obviously we've seen him as a middle linebacker. Algernon Williams had the tackle there. But Pryor getting the play call from the coaches as if he is the quarterback.
If you're curious on some score updates in the world of baseball, the Mariners have tied it up 2-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. A Cal Raleigh home run. Give that man the MVP. And looking in on the West Coast, the Dodgers now lead the Brewers 2-0. And I'll tell you what I'm excited about that is Pryor on the keeper. He takes it into the end zone. Touchdown Wildcats.
Into the end zone standing up, and it's now 27-0 Evanston. Michael Pryor, have yourself a drive. The 5'11", 220 senior just separated himself from everybody else on the field over the course of that drive. 3 fantastic runs.
Michael Pryor says the Brewers' performance is too pathetic to even talk about and takes it into the end zone. It's Jasper Barney to attempt an extra point. Snap a little high, gets it down, and the kick is good.
The extra point is good. Kicked by Jasper Barney. Evanston, 28.
That Shohei Ohtani with a home run. So in a matter of minutes, Cal Raleigh and Shohei Ohtani both hitting home runs, both the potential NL and AL MVPs, and that's fun about playoff baseball when you see these guys going late.
Certainly, Drew.
Deerfield Athletics, class of 2025.
And at halftime, as our PA announcer Sam Schwartz is announcing, they will honor this year's Hall of Fame class.
Yeah, this is a very strong Hall of Fame class for Deerfield. The third time they've done this. They started a couple years ago when we were sophomores, and now this is year 3 of the Deerfield Hall of Fame. A really cool thing. They got a lot of cool stuff on the inside of Deerfield High School in the athletic wing, honoring those Hall of Fame people that did so much for this Deerfield High School program. And we saw last year longtime head coach Steve Winecki was inducted into the Warrior Hall of Fame.
And if you were watching Thursday Night Football yesterday, you would have seen future Deerfield Hall of Fame member Charlie Jones, the punt returner for the Cincinnati Bengals, who's had a spectacular start to his NFL career. I believe this is his second or third year in the NFL. Being a starter, that is quite the accomplishment.
This one won't be a touchback.
Elation picks it up. Trying to get to the outside, breaking a couple tackles. George Elation with a nice return. It's taken down at the 28-yard line.
Nice return there from Elation. Tough to field that one off the hop. He was able to successfully and get to the outside. Fantastic block thrown by Carter Erdman there. Those are some of the plays that you will not see show up on the stat sheet, but number 21 in red with a hard hit there on that kick return. As this Deerfield offense will head back out there trying to get something going. See if they can get Sturzik working to his dominant side this time, Drew.
Yep. You would just think, the size disadvantage and everything. At some point they should practice, going in the shotgun and obvious passing situations just to give your quarterback a little more time. Sturzik on the keep. Nice pitch to Moros. Moros cutting off. He is leveled. My goodness, what a hit. Aiden Payne. I believe that was Aiden Payne. Yeah, number 1, Aiden Payne. Wow, what a hit. Oh, my goodness, that is just mean.
That is a good, clean, mean football hit.
That
right
is
there.
football, baby.
Laid on Charlie Moros, and Evanston's defense tonight just came to play. They have been flying around everywhere, hitting hard, and it has been a joy to watch this Wild Kid defense.
I was going to say the same exact thing. A joy to watch is the best way to put it. And coming into this game, we really had high expectations for this Evanston defense. They struggled last week, but held Glenbrook South to just 18 points. Like, it's a really solid group Coach Osei has. And they're putting it on display today as another run to Moros, and this is going backwards.
Yeah, and even when it looked like he had a little bit of room on that last play, he was only able to gain a couple of yards. And Drew, we talked about it in week 1, the definition of insanity, doing something over and over again. And Deerfield just continues to use this flex bone formation and go absolutely nowhere with it.
And, I hate to be that guy, but, Coach Gooder and Deerfield, you got to come out of this. At least we won a game, because you got Maine South next week, and Maine South, one of the best teams in the state. More than likely going to be a similar result, but to have that win, though, I think really kind of helps, because this was always going to be a rebuilding year for Deerfield. A lot of here's going to be a pre-snap penalty. A lot of new pieces, a new coaching staff, a really tough job for Coach Gooder this year. Not much more he can do. He's the cards are dealt with, and he's done the best that he can. And really, I think to have that win that they had was just insurmountable for the program momentum going forward, because 1-8 is a lot different than 0-9.
Absolutely, and beating a GBN team that many anticipated to be a close game, and they were able to do it in dominant fashion with Yablin running for 3 touchdowns and the defense pitching a shutout in a 24-2 victory that just does wonders for Coach Gooder and this football program. But here we are right now as they fake the pitch.
Jackson's Thursday, the keeper. Tackled by Michael Hatches.
It'll be 4th down. Punt team's coming back out there, and an update from Seattle. Eugenio Suarez has just hit a grand slam to give the Mariners a 6-2 win.
No, the bottom of the 8th inning.
Lead in the bottom of the 8th inning.
With Andres Munoz pitching the 9th, you could call it a win. I cannot. Seattle must be rocking right now. That is a fan base that deserves all the success.
Conklin a punt here again. This is a low line drive. It's going to be fielded on a hop.
Impressive catch. He's staying on his feet. And a nice tackle by Charlie Morris. Suarez with the 2nd home run of the game. And against Seattle, that is a dedicated fan base that has seen little to no success. And just, you'll love to see that.
Absolutely, Drew, especially after dropping those first 2 games at home. Back to football, though, as Evanston will take over on their own 47-yard line.
And it feels like at this point, when we're saying back to football, it's unfortunately back to football. Not if you're an Evanston fan. This must feel good for Coach Osei. But he knows that there is a lot to work on. The fumbles, stuff to clean up, but definitely the kind of game they need.
And Drew, interesting here, you got...
Oh, my goodness, another fumble snap. This time looked like it was a bad snap, and the Warriors recover it. My goodness.
Mason Belden fell on that one, and that is the 4th time this game that Evanston has fumbled. Wow. Just going to talk about their formation. They had Gant out there with Sean Hobson mixing their teams, and shocking to see more miscommunications. I can only imagine what Coach Osei is going to be saying at halftime. I mean, yes, your team's got a 28-0 lead, but you made some mistakes that are just
might be the most angry a coach will ever be when his team's up 28-0. I mean, my goodness.
Drew, I would say you're correct.
That is the 4th fumble.
I would say you're correct, but I've seen Nick Saban in the middle of the Georgia Southern game up 45-14. So,
well, if you watch Indiana football and they seem to beat everyone by 1,000,000 points every week, Kurt Signetti's often an angry man, even when they're up 50 points. So
you definitely see it.
Yeah, it's happening for sure. Morris on the pitch play. Charlie Morris with space. Morris is going to pick up a 1st down. His 2nd 1st down of the game.
Nice run there from Charlie Morris, able to cut outside and find a lane for 11.
Charlie Morris, the ball carrier.
I mean, you understand, perhaps, a miscommunication or a bad snap happens once, but the combination of a fumble exchange, fumble snap happening 4 times in 1 half is just absurd. And you don't see that happen.
And Drew, you wonder if it's because they're mixing up their quarterback and running back personnel. They're using Everts, Gant. They use Pryor on a previous drive, and
Oh my goodness, and the Warriors fumble the snap. This is madness. I mean, it's not raining. It's perfect weather.
ball's been on the ground all night.
That is something. That last one, I think, for the Evanston, you could attest to, a bad snap, but it's been a sloppy game for both teams.
Just a lot of miscommunication using 3 different quarterbacks, a few different running backs. Something Evanston, I'm sure, has not been used to. Being able to have this flexibility with a 28-point lead this year. And
absolutely zero urgency for the Warriors. They huddle up and let the clock go down, and it's not like they're in field goal range.
40 seconds to go here in the opening half.
Hand off to Bassett. Evanston will elect to use timeouts. It's like just going to let the clock keep going down.
Third down. I'm a little bit surprised by Coach Guter is to try to stop this clock with the Warriors inside the 35-yard line for the first time tonight.
I don't understand this.
The clock runs, and the Warriors are in the huddle here as the clock ticks down. 13-12 left to go in this first half, and Drew, I am absolutely baffled right now.
Yeah, this is unexplainable. They're just letting the clock go all the way down. This is going to be halftime. They're not going to get the snap ball. At the 31-yard line, your best chance of the game, and you just let the clock bleed down and take it in a half with all 3 timeouts in your pocket. Wow. That is a decision. That is one.
I do not have words.
We will go to halftime. 28-0 Evanston, and Deerfield seems more than thrilled to take that 28-0 deficit into the locker room as we'll be back for the second half.
And Evanston will get the ball to start the second half. Make sure to stay tuned for the Hall of Fame presentation going on at halftime. We'll be back in 15.
Welcome back to the third quarter here at Adams Field, and we'd like to take a second to celebrate. It's today's breast cancer awareness game here at Adams Field, and spreading awareness on a terrible disease in breast cancer. This is what these shirts are, and back. Let's see if we get the back right there. It's a cool thing that Deerfield High School is doing to spread awareness on this topic, and anyone who's dealt with this disease, we pray for them. Obviously, cancer has impacted almost everyone. It's a terrible disease, and it's good to spread awareness and raise money like nights like tonight.
Absolutely true. They pink out the student section and the crowd. A lot of pink out here on Adams Field, and then you see some of the players with some pink accessories just advocating for breast cancer, and cancer research as a whole, which is just a terrible thing, and we hope that anybody who's dealt with breast cancer continues to fight against it, and we hope that this pink out here at Deerfield High School tonight has helped out just a little bit.
We'll be back in a minute for the start of the second half. Welcome back to the second half. Warriors set to kick it off. So the Evanston Wildcats, who lead this game 28-0. The Verge are grabbing their second win of the year. Conklin's boot, a short one, at the 20-yard line. Reverse field with some space is Shamir Irving. Irving takes it all the way up near the 45-yard line.
Great return there from Irving to get this second half underway. And Drew, if you're Coach Guru and the Warriors, you're just trying to find something positive to take away from this one. Trailing by 4 touchdowns in a game where, frankly, they've been dominated.
Yeah, they're having a positive drive at the end of the first half, but they just, at the 30-yard line, they just let the clock bleed out and take it in a half, which was really just an inexplicable decision. And I'm going to see the 0 still on the scoreboard.
Yep, Evanston offense back out here to start the second half. And it's
another quarterback in the game. This is Number 17. Number 17 is Justin Johnson.
The ball carrier.
But I'm not sure it's Justin Johnson. Johnson is the star receiver on this team who's missed the last 2 games with an ankle sprain. We haven't seen him. I cannot imagine with an ankle sprain they'd be having him run around like that in the Wildcats, so we're not quite sure.
Yeah, Wildcats able to gain 4 yards there. They've done a really nice job all night staying ahead of the chains, and really the only flaws that they've had is those 4 fumbled snaps.
Yeah. I believe they were able to recover 2 of them as another quarterback keeper, and it's going to be a loss. Good play by the Deerfield defense.
Justin Johnson, the ball carrier. Tackled by Louis Schaefer and George White. It's 3rd down. 6 to go from the Evanston 44.
Wildcats getting set up for 3rd down here in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers wide, 2 to the right, 1 to the left.
Play clock going down. Another quarterback keeper, and gonna have the 1st down. Oh, the ball might have came out.
Tackled by
Warriors seem to think so. Looks like they're gonna rule him down.
gain of 8 on the play. 1st down.
It's gonna be a 1st down for the Kits.
Justin Johnson, the
Yeah, it was
ball
interesting. You saw
carrier. Tackled
Sturzak
by
motion
Thursday.
with his hand that it would be Warriors ball. Clearly, the officials saw clearly that he was down. It was a very quick ruling. Pretty silent night here at Deerfield High School as we can hear the Evanston cheer team from all the way across the field.
Not just hear him, you can hear him very clearly. You know, when you see an injury like you did with Evan Yoblin, it just sucks the air right out of this place. It's another quarterback keeper. A flag is thrown. A nice tackle by Jackson Sturzak.
Yeah, not a lot of penalties so far. It's been a pretty clean game. There's one. I got to imagine this is holding, and it is.
Holding.
I believe I just heard the ref talk too. That's a first.
Yeah, very surprising to hear the
10 yards from the spot.
officials'
Replay, 1st down.
voice, but it's just been that kind of night. Wildcats will take the penalty. It'll be 1st down and 18. As Tyron Gant back into the game, as well as Hobson.
A lot of different substitutions we've seen from the Kits tonight. Switching in quarterbacks, running backs.
And there goes the play clock.
Delay game.
It'll now be 1st and 23, and Evanston is going backwards.
5-yard penalty. First and Ryan Field to go.
1st and Ryan Field to go. Called by our PA announcer, Sam Schwartz.
Which is kind of surprising because that would mean it's 1st and nothing. Because that stadium is demolished.
Well, it's being built right now, the new one, as 1st and, I believe it's Martin Stadium. Northwestern's being a temporary stadium as the new Ryan Field's being built. And I'm very excited to see what that looks like.
Yeah, it's downsizing their capacity, but they are spending, I believe it's $800 million on that new stadium. So it'll certainly be interesting. Just a few minutes away from the campus of Evanston High School.
Grab some Buffalo Joes on the way. As Hobson on the carry. Oh, Hobson with some nice cuts. Gets it up near the 40-yard line.
Yeah, nice run from Hobson there. Able to gain about 6. Nice tackle there from senior Rohan Rai, who, again, is one of those guys who's played football for 4 years, didn't see the field much his first 3, and has been thrust into a big role this season, and he's done a pretty good job.
Yes. Hobson really has great vision. That's one thing, from watching him. He just seems to hit the holes and with a quick burst, the acceleration.
Yeah, very smart runner.
He's thrown to the flats again and taken down immediately.
To serve you on McKinney. Tackled by Jaden Halzett.
Jaden Paulzette on the stop. It is going to be third.
Gain of 4 on the play.
Third and 18.
Third down and 18 for the Wildcats here. Drew, what could go wrong?
We will see.
10 seconds on the play clock. Kits have plenty of time. 3 receivers wide.
Gant rolling out, looking to throw. He's going to go deep to absolutely nobody.
Great coverage there from Paulzette.
He was looking for number 3, Ray Owens, but that was nowhere near Owens' vicinity.
Yeah, Wildcats tried to take a shot and convert the 3rd and long. And now Evanston will bring out Barney to punt it away for the first time tonight with 8:29 to go in the 3rd quarter. Deerfield's defense gets a stop
Much
the normal
needed
way.
stop.
Flag thrown.
Nice punt from Barney. Take a bounce and be down at it's like the 22-yard line.
Ball is down. There's a flag on the play.
I feel like right after the snap, maybe someone wasn't sat.
If this is on Evanston, I got to imagine Deerfield's
It's going
going
to be an illegal shift.
to make him punt it again.
Yeah. Talking to Coach Gooder, I think he's telling him they're going to punt it again. Yep. Illegal shift. Heard the ref clearly that time.
Called on Evanston. It is accepted, and we will repunt.
Who needs mics when you can just hear them?
Certainly
Project your voice out
the
there.
first time. Official doing a nice job.
Yes, I think it's been a very well officiated game.
Hackey's Barbecue, another classic spot located in Evanston.
And again, the sloppiness for Evanston continues. This time it was penalties. High snap. Deerfield didn't rush anyone. Barney, another nice boot. Paulzette calls a fair catch. It looks like the 22-yard line. So Warriors might have lost a yard on that. Oh, and there's a flag.
Flag on the
After the play, ref called that flag from about 30, 40 yards away. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Evanston. But add 15 more yards forward to that punt.
Very similar result out of the punt, but the 15 yards will give the Warriors a lot better field position, and this is going to be our first look at this Deerfield offense in the second half. Jack Sturzik, the 4th string, can even go as far to say the emergency quarterback for this Deerfield team with no Agrin, Berkowitz, or Yoblin, and he'll make his way out there trying to figure something out. He'll get the ball at his own 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Georgia Elation's got a one-on-one matchup at the bottom of your screen. We'll see if Sturzik looks for him there.
Can I make a bold prediction, Brody? That will not happen. Oh my goodness. They were looking for him. Seriously, with a nice throw to Moros.
I had a feeling, Drew.
you were spot on.
Finally got Sturzik rolling out to his left there, and Moros made a nice cut across the field, and there's a positive pass play. It's the Warriors' first pass completion of the night, and it's a breath of fresh air.
Wow.
Only gained 8 yards, but certainly nice to see.
Right now, 8 yards feels like 30.
Red jersey to red jersey. That is
not a connection we've seen often.
certainly not. We'll see what they do on 2nd down here.
Hand off to Bassett. Right near the 1st down marker, maybe half a yard away.
Tackled by Justin Johnson.
We'll see if they give it to him.
I think he was short. Yeah, and he will be. Right near the 1st down marker.
Just short of the 1st down.
We 3rd down and
3rd and inches.
about 6 or 7 inches here. Really close to that line to gain. As Ryan Glick received the play call from Coach Gooder there, he relays it to the rest of the offense. And they break the huddle. 2 receivers wide, top of your screen. Sturzik under center once again.
Third and mere couple of inches. Handoff goes to Bassett, trying to bounce it to the outside. He has the first down and some more. Needed 6 or 7 inches, got 6 or 7 yards.
Nice run there from Bassett, able to get outside, and Deerfield with their 3rd first down of the game.
You know, often when you're that close to the first down marker, you don't want to bounce your run to the outside and make it harder on yourselves, but that time it worked out for Q Bassett.
Yeah, usually you do not see running backs going east-west on a 3rd and short yardage situation. They're just trying to plow forward for that first down, but Bassett saw something and was able to find it and gain a little bit of that edge for a nice gain. Warriors now in Evanston territory at the 49-yard line.
Sturzik's going to keep it. Nice little run there.
Gained a few yards, and you can see this Deerfield offense starting to move the football a little bit.
They're hot. But you'd think back to the last 2 drives, and before they stalled to the end of the half for some apparent reason. They were moving the ball well, so this is the last 2 drives. They're moving the ball just a little bit better. You gotta take the victories where you can get them.
Absolutely, Drew. Definitely something you love to see. They trail 28-0, and while 28 points is a lot, last year we saw Deerfield trail by 28 points to Fremd in the 3rd quarter around the same stage of the game, and I'm not here to say that that's going to happen again because, frankly, I don't see it at all. But
Sturzik got the nice
taking those
move.
little steps as Sturzik gains a couple there, showing off his athleticism there. And for Sturzik, again, this is his 4th year in the program. He's more a quiet leader, leads by example, but certainly a fantastic captain of this Warrior squad, and not many other people you'd want to see in that role. Also plays basketball.
And that's looking back at that Fremd game, much different Deerfield team. And we actually spoke to the quarterback of that team, the 3-year starter, Mac Jones, at halftime. He's in town, and we spoke to him and told him we could have used him out there. But unfortunately, that's not the case. But it was definitely a much different style of play, a different coach, and it's really a brand new team from last year. This Bassett on the carry is going to be short.
4th down and about 3 yards for the Warriors here.
But always cool to see some Deerfield football alumni back at the field, watching some of their guys play.
Yeah, supporting their team for sure. It's good to see a strong alumni base. We also saw the 1975 state championship team get honored during halftime. It's part of that 2025 Hall of Fame class, 50 years removed.
And you remember that team, Brady.
From their state championship.
They were special.
Absolutely, Drew. They were able to move the ball like nobody else. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. What was that, your freshman year of high school?
Sophomore year.
Sophomore year. There you go. Toss by Morris. Morris is going to throw it. Oh, it's broken up, incomplete.
Had Schaefer across the middle.
I like the creativity.
4th down and 3. They pulled out all the stops. And Morris could not complete the pass. It was a good throw, just a couple inches behind him, and gave the Wildcats enough time to break it up. Good defensive play, and Evanston will take over. But eventful drive for the Warriors here.
It was fun.
That it was.
Brody, we've broadcasted this, our second game broadcasting this year, and we did the Lake Forest game, and what score that, 33-0? 30-0. So it's 28-0. So, you got to take what you can get. A fun play like that, it's exciting.
That's for sure. I cannot say I've ever seen somebody more excited about a complete pass than you just were right there.
We don't get the privilege of leaving at halftime like the entire student section.
Nice tackle there from Zay Bassett, trying to provide a spark.
Zay Bassett, a fun, energetic guy. I talked to him earlier. I told him, Zay, what's your position? He's like, wherever they need me, I play everywhere.
Yeah, really.
He was everywhere on that play.
Swiss Army knife. He's got good athleticism, good speed, also good size. So
yep.
You can really use him in a bunch of different situations. It's still Gann at quarterback for Evanston. Warriors bring pressure. They hand it off.
It's not the first game of football he's played on that turf today. Might be wondering what I'm talking about. Of course, my gym football earlier today that, I gotta tell you, was more competitive than this game. 21-21 tie. Went down to the wire.
Certainly a fun one out on Adams Field this afternoon. Fortunately, we weren't able to have coverage of that for you, but we got
Algernon Williams, what a play! That was a ferocious tackle. Well behind the line of scrimmage.
Algernon Williams showing 285 can move really well. That was unbelievable, Drew.
Flung Shamir Irving back a couple yards.
I like what I've seen from this Deerfield defense in the second half, Drew. It's been impressive. Coach Mark Januszewski's boys on defense.
Credit Coach Mark Januszewski. Also the head varsity baseball coach. My coach. It should be an exciting year. Shorter punt this time. It's going to take a favorable roll at the 25-yard line. If you want to look at Deerfield teams to come, in a month or so, Deerfield basketball is starting back up, and wow, there's a lot of excitement around that team. You being the team manager, you're firsthand, you get to see this team, and you can feel the hype. People are talking about it.
Absolutely. This basketball season is extremely highly anticipated. Looking forward to it getting going in just a few weeks from now. We're going to have two of the top players in the CSL South, one of the best conferences in the state. We'll have Evan Nagler and Jake Pollock, of course. Going to be a really fun year, and excited to be able to have a first-hand account of everything that's happening as Deerfield Warriors try and get back to the sectional championship and win a sectional championship, which they were able to do.
Yep.
Which they were able to do a year ago.
The favorites this year in our sectional with DePaul Prep finally moving up to the level they should be at 4A. I mean, they were just dominating everyone in 3A.
Yeah, DePaul Prep is a very fun team to watch play basketball. They're one of the more solid fundamental teams you will see.
Yes.
Play fantastic defense.
It's not fun to play against.
Unbelievably well coached, and certainly a fun team to watch if you get the opportunity to do that. Evanston, another one of these schools with a fantastic basketball team. They placed third place in the IHSA 4A tournament a year ago, and that is a huge accomplishment. They had a phenomenal team last year with guys like Theo Roca and Caden Chatham.
Yeah, it was a fantastic team, and Deerfield and Evanston had some good battles. Deerfield won here at home, and then Evanston paid back the price at their place in a dominant win. But really, these are two of the top teams in the conference, and again, two teams that should have fantastic years for basketball. Moros reversing field, stays at his feet. Charlie Moros running a country mile to lose a yard.
Yeah, Moros looked like he ran about 20 yards there and gained 0. Good effort from Moros there.
I believe we were wrong. He gained a yard. There you go. Makes it all worth it.
Absolutely.
He might be gassed, but he got that yard.
Every yard counts. As we approach 1 minute to go here in this third quarter of play. Wildcats leading at 28-0. No scoring yet in this second half.
If you were interested at all in seeing DePaul Prep play this year, Deerfield actually plays at DePaul Prep later in the season, which should be a fun contest and a rematch of the two teams that faced off in the sectional championship game.
Absolutely. That will be a fun one towards the end of the season. It's 4th down and 7, and Deerfield's going to punt. This is kind of that last straw, and Coach Gooder kind of throwing in the towel here as we wind down play in this third quarter, deciding not to go for it on 4th and 6. Conklin to punt it away once again. This is a high spiraling kick. Good punt. Fielded at the 40-yard line.
Oh, the burst of speed, a big return. It's across the 40-yard line. It's Justin Johnson on the return.
That's the kind of explosiveness we talked about at the top of the broadcast. We expected to see Johnson a lot more tonight, but fantastic kick return there, and we really saw what he can do. He 21.4 second 200 meter. Another one of those guys with track speed that's gonna go play football in the Big Ten somewhere. So he's still a junior, but bright future ahead for Johnson as we see him wide right at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, we didn't see him earlier, and he's missed the last 2 games because of injury. It is great to see Justin Johnson back out there. What a fun player to watch. And he put it on display on that punt return.
Hobson's still in the game, and that'll be it for the third quarter of play. No scoring there. We will head to the final fourth quarter. 12 minutes will be put up on the clock here in game number 8 of this football season. Evanston trying to put the bow on a 28-0 victory, and we will have that for you when we come back.
Back for the fourth quarter play. 28-0 Evanston. And his quick throw to the flats is caught by Johnson. Justin Johnson with a burst of speed. Oh, a touchdown-saving tackle by Rohan Rai. Oh, no.
Justin Johnson's down. We saw he was brought down with an ankle tackle just inside the 15-yard line. Good to see him get up and limping off the field on his own power, but
and Johnson came into this game with a sprained ankle, missed the last 2 games with that injury, and you just hate to see that.
Yeah, and it looks like he's tending to that same left ankle.
He was moving so well on that play, too. Ugh.
He got tackled right in the spot where it would get aggravated. It was a good tackle to bring him down, or else he would have scored, but another one of these injuries that you just hate to see, especially in a game like this.
Handoff goes to Hobson. Hobson bouncing it outside. Nice little pickup there.
Nice run there from Sean Hobson as Evanston tries to put some more points on the board for the first time since the middle of the second quarter.
Credit the Deerfield defense. They've really picked it up. I felt like this was really going to get ugly. And obviously 28-0 is not great, but you felt like it could get even worse. And so far they've played with a lot of pride in the second half.
Yeah, defense for sure, without a doubt.
Handoff to Gannon. He's going backwards.
That's another nice tackle.
Third and 5 coming up for the Kits at the 14-yard line with the Jasper Barney's field goal range. Wonder if they'll just run the ball again to Hobson. They do, and Hobson with a crease. Looks like he's going to have the first down. A flag did come in. I think this is going to be a hold on Evanston, and that's exactly what it is.
It is, and that's a big play for this Deerfield defense. Looked like Evanston was going to be set up shop first and goal, but a hold in the middle of the run will move the Wildcats back, and now it'll be third down and 14.
A 10-yard penalty for the spot. Go back it up. It remains third down.
Third and 15. Gant's going to roll out. Going to throw. It's rid of it. Tipped up in the air and caught, but out of bounds, incomplete.
It's now 4th down and 15, and now we might see Jasper Barney head out for a 41-yard field goal. Oof. Something that we don't usually see at the high school level, no. Drew, and this is certainly going to be fun, watching him kick one from 41.
41 yards in length.
9:45 to go in the game. Evanston leading at 28-0. Kind of in that situation where you got to try the field goal. It's 4th and 15.
Why not?
And here we go. From the right hash, it's Jasper Barney.
Windy day. Looks like blowing left to right. Snap a little high. Barney's kick. Plenty of leg. It is drilled. Perfect. Wow, Jasper Barney.
I mean, we've seen him kick touchbacks all night, but from 41 yards, that was clinical from Jasper Barney. Snap was high. It was a great hold, and Barney booted that thing through. That might have been good from, may I say 50?
I don't think that's crazy to say at all. Definitely in 9 yards of room.
Fantastic display of kicking. We've certainly seen some phenomenal kickers in the CSL South.
Yes.
With Schleinhardt of Maine South and Duganjic from New Trier, both those guys playing college football. We've certainly seen our fair share of good kickers, and I think Jasper Barney has done enough to add himself to the list.
Yeah.
Score now 31-0 Wildcats. 9:40 to go.
Alation going to have a chance to return this one. Just at the 3-yard line. And he is taken down well short of the 20-yard line, taken down to the 16.
Yeah, Warriors trying to avoid being shut out for the 3rd time this season. Lost to Lake Forest 30-0, and then last week Glenbrook South 42-0.
You hate to put up donuts ever, but doing back-to-back weeks with Maine South coming into town next week, and it is just going to get harder.
Yeah, they currently sit at number 6 in the state, which is
Maine South in the CSL South, which it's a respectable conference. Maine South just in a class of their own.
Absolutely. They have bounced back in a fantastic way since getting crushed 40-0 at the hands of Lincoln Way East in week 1. And they currently lead Glenbrook South, who's another phenomenal team, 14-0 at halftime.
Yeah, very excited to see what Jamison Purcell, the Indiana commit, looks like. Left-handed thrower, and really excited. Brady, we saw him last year at Loyola in the playoffs, and he struggled. You know, he made some mistakes, but he was a sophomore at the time, and he's learned, and it looks like he's really coming to his own this year after a rocky start against Lincoln Way East.
Yeah, very difficult atmosphere last year at Loyola on the road in the state quarterfinals, but even then you could tell he had very strong arm talent, and you could tell that he was a Division I level quarterback after seeing him play both against Deerfield and against Loyola, and we'll have him here on Deerfield Athletics YouTube next week, so if you're looking forward to seeing some fantastic quarterback play, make sure to tune in next week, senior night, 7 p.m., where the Warriors will take on Maine South. Drew and I will
nice run.
Be there with you guys. Q Bassett does something positive for this Warriors offense.
And obviously Purcell going to Indiana. Indiana coached by Kurt Signetti, number 3 in the country. Signetti, obviously one of the best talent evaluators in the country, plain and simple. You look at the high school guys, and when you see a guy like that commit to Indiana, you know, raise his eyebrows. You look at what Signetti's done with, you know, the guys he's picked up, they recruited. It really puts it in perspective what they think Jamison Purcell could be.
Absolutely.
And, you know,
Purcell turned down offers from SEC schools like Ole Miss, and
he's got family connections to Indiana. Obviously, Chandler Whitmer, the quarterback's coach at Indiana, has got NFL connections. That's going to be pass interference. Mike Shanahan, who's been with Signetti for over 10 years, is the rising program in college football, the rising power. And just a fantastic decision by Purcell, because you go there, You have one of the best coaching staffs in the country that you know is going to develop you and turn you into a high-caliber quarterback. You look at Dave, that's what Signetti's done, throughout his career. He develops quarterbacks. Back in the day, developed Phillip Rivers. The JMU at Jordan McLeod was a fantastic quarterback. Curtis Rourke, Fernando Mendoza was in line to be a first-round pick. And, it's a decision that it makes sense. And I'm excited to see what Purcell brings because someone like Signetti's caliber, recruit him, he sees something in him. And really excited to see what he progresses into and excited to see him next week here at Deerfield. Morris on the toss play. Nice little pickup. Offensive line started to get some pushes. David Lasardi ended up on the ground. No flags thrown.
Yeah, and Drew, that last play, that incompletion to the incompletion that Sturzik threw on the previous play, might have where the pass interference was called from against Evanston, might have been the deepest drop I've seen a Deerfield quarterback take all season long. He dropped back probably 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, which is pretty standard for a shotgun drop back, but that's a formation that...
Did I say it looked like a modern offense?
I wouldn't go that far. As we approach 7 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. But Sturzik still under center. Bassett right behind him. Fakes it.
Fake there. Sturzik rolling out, throws incomplete. Tight coverage there.
Yeah, good coverage there from Evanston, but again, you like to see them trying to use Sturzik's arm. He's got good arm talent, quarterback experience, just not recently, and you can tell.
Yeah. And honestly, given the circumstances, I think Jackson Sturzik's done a tremendous job.
Oh, absolutely. He's been able to quarterback this offense, and especially in an option-type scheme, that doesn't just mean being able to throw the ball downfield. And he's done a fantastic job stepping into this role, and despite the 0 on the scoreboard, give a lot of credit to number 10 in red.
Yes. Love that the Warriors could just drive down the field, get some points, feel a little better about yourselves. The toss play to Moros, and this is not going to help them. That's a big loss. Flung down to the ground by number 29.
It's not. 4th down and 11. We'll see if the Warriors decide to go for it here.
We expect good sportsmanship by students, players, fans, coaches, and everybody. The IHSA Sports Youth encourages you to sport a winning attitude.
Heard a fan shout a comment at an Evanston player after that stop.
I did not hear this.
And our public address officer, Sam Schwartz, made sure to let him know about it.
Was it bad enough that you're not able to say it over the air?
It was not. Number 29 of Evanston made a nice tackle, and this fan decided it'd be a good idea to tell him that he sucked.
Okay, that's I don't like that stuff at all. I think that's just flat out. That's where the parents need to stay out of it. We're talking about kids playing.
Yeah, these
telling them you suck. That's
high school football game after he made a nice play.
Absolutely zero room for that.
Yeah, we credit our public address announcer Sam Schwartz for directly and swiftly addressing the matter, and don't believe that will happen again here in the final 6:15. As Coach Gooder uses his first time out of the game with 6:15 to go in the fourth quarter, which is trailing 31-0. Believe the Warriors are going to go for it here.
Why not?
Why not?
Shohei Ohtani having a day, 2 home runs, and right now is 4 2/3, 1 hit ball with 7 strikeouts. I mean, my goodness. What a player. Sturzik to throw, looking, going to go deep into double coverage, and it is intercepted. Morris ended up on the ground, no flag. On the return going the other way. It is 81, and taken down across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Sturzik kind of just threw up a prayer there, and Morris never really had an opportunity at that one. Ball was played well by the Evanston defender, and they return it inside the 40. Basically a very similar outcome as if he threw an incomplete pass there.
Obviously, Morris fell down, but I think that's a good no call.
Yeah, absolutely. There was nothing close to pass interference. Morris tripped. Good call from the officials to not throw a phantom flag there, because sometimes they do.
Yes. And again, if you're going to yell at someone that they suck, I think even the refs would agree. Direct it at the refs. Let's not do it at a kid.
Yeah, absolutely. This kid is in high school who's
Made a nice play.
working his tail off, made a nice play. There's really no room for that, but hopefully he learned from his mistake, because we go under 6 minutes to go in this ball game. Evanston just picked up a first down trying to
Salt this game away. Only 3 points allowed in the second half from the Deerfield defense. A lot better.
That is for sure. As the handoff again goes to Irving.
You talked about moral victories earlier, Brody, and it's kind of hard to have moral victories at game number 8 with one of the best teams in the state coming to your house next week. So, but you take what you get, and it's been a nice performance in the second half of the defense. The offense has looked a little better, but still not great. Next week what's happening. I think everyone knows, what's going to happen, and it's going to be hard to carry it over because Maine South is just on that upper echelon of teams in the state, and right now, with the team Deerfield has, it's not their fault. It's the resources they're dealt with, that Coach Gruder has to deal with, and the talent that they have. It's difficult. It's difficult to compete against some of these teams like Evanston, New Trier, Glenbrook South, schools that are a lot bigger.
Yeah, especially schools that have a lot bigger selection with size. Like, you got a school of 5,000 kids with teams like New Trier or Evanston, and despite them not really being great teams, you still have those bigger guys, and it's a solid football program. I mean, it's just hard for Deerfield to score a school of 1,500 kids to compete, because they just don't have that same selection of size and speed and strength that these other schools have, despite the abilities to succeed in the skill positions.
Ooh, big hit. There's 8 players. The Deerfield side has 8 players available. I mean, it's tough. You're given a smaller sample size of talent. It's hard to deal with that. And the Warriors, obviously, next year, they're moving back to the CSL North for 3 years. And I think for where this football program is at with all the rebuilding and change, I think it couldn't come at a more perfect time.
Exactly, Drew. I mean, even this year, if they got to play in the CSL North, that might have limited some of the rockiness of Coach Gruder's first year, but they'll certainly start next year. This is a nice run by Hobson.
Oh, Hobson, nice run. Picks up the first down. But you look at other sports, at basketball was at the top of the conference, baseball at the top of the conference, wrestling won the CSL South. I think it's impressive given the scale that Deerfield's working with, their ability to compete with some of these schools quite often in sports. And obviously, you're going to have some years like this with football where you just can't match up with the big dogs because, the talent you have right now just isn't enough. And that's part of what you get when you're at a school like this.
Yeah, and it's certainly a lot easier with basketball when you only have to play 5 guys. Football, you got 11 on offense and 11 on defense, and Deerfield's barely got enough to field those complete numbers without guys getting super exhausted and not necessarily being able to play 4 quarters. And we saw that a couple instances this season, especially against Highland Park. You saw the team just got exhausted, and they couldn't function in the fourth quarter despite having the lead.
Yes.
2 minutes to go here from Adams Field.
Kit's taking the play clock all the way down.
Can hear a pin drop on Adams Field right now.
Get off to Hobson. That's going nowhere. I said, a little surprised Sean Hobson's still in the game.
Yeah, surprised they haven't given more running backs a chance. I'm guessing they just want to give Hobson some more reps. But But for Evanston, certainly an impressive effort despite a couple of mistakes earlier in the game with those fumbles. Just able to take care of business on the road here, 31-0.
And also you think about the backups that it's game number 8. Evanston can't make the playoffs. So, maybe you just play your guys. It's not early in the season anymore.
Absolutely.
There's no saving guys for more.
Hobson only a junior, so best to get him more experience going into next year.
Gonna run it, and nice stop, well short of the first down marker.
4th down now. They are going to bring Jasper Barney back out there, who has had a phenomenal night. 4 for 4 on extra points and had that 41-yard field goal, as well as a whole slew of touchbacks that have just been extremely impressive. It'll be a 30-yard kick here, and if he can make this will be an unbelievable night capped off for Barney.
Hockey, they do the 3 stars of the game, and Jasper Barney would have a case to be the first, maybe the second star.
I got to imagine Michael Pryor, Jasper Barney, and
Sean Hobson.
Probably Sean Hobson, yeah. Evanston takes the timeout. We'll see if they continue with this decision to kick the field goal, or they just decide to run this one. Got 25 seconds to go, and looking ahead to next week for Evanston, they play Glenbrook North, which is another very winnable game for these Wildcats. Game they're very capable and will certainly be favored to win.
It's a game they'll more than likely win. And
certainly.
Glenbrook North is struggling once again. It's a tough year for Coach Purdy. And they got beat. Deerfield was able to take care of them in a rather comfortable manner, 24-2. Obviously, it was a 7-2 game in the 4th quarter. It was close, but it's again. And I think the usual depth of this conference just isn't there this year.
Certainly is not. You got Maine South and Glenbrook South having one of their better seasons.
But Evanston's down this year.
History, but Evanston and New Trier's program has seen better days. So is Evanston's, and obviously talking about Deerfield and Glenbrook North.
We're going to go for this. Gant on the keeper, and this stopped.
Good sportsmanship there from Evanston.
I agree.
Try and run up the score.
I agree. No need to try to kick the field goal. Just run it, see what happens. I think that's the right decision by Coach Osei. I think at this point of the game, you just want to see different things from your teams and see how your team executes. And you have the 41-yard field goal, and let's see what happens on 4th down.
Absolutely, and Drew, what a spirited effort from this Deerfield defense in the second half, holding Evanston to just 3 points when they really struggled in the first half, and a lot of it was not their fault. They were dealt a lot of tough situations. Evanston started with the ball in Warrior territory on numerous occasions, able to force a couple of turnovers, but just fantastic effort in this second half, and that's the one main takeaway for your Deerfield that you gotta bring from this game, is that your defense just did not give up. They did not mail it in on defense, and they continued to fight for 48 minutes. So credit this Deerfield defense in a big way.
Pitch play to Moros. Moros has some space. And he gets out of bounds after a nice first down pickup.
Out of bounds by number 33 for Evanston.
12 seconds remaining in the game. It'll be Coach Osei's second win here at Evanston. And, assuming they take care of business next week, I think it makes the season a little more salvageable. You ride a 2-game winning streak into the offseason. You build on some things. Because obviously it's a very talented team. And the clock's going to run out. Running clock, I guess. And that's going to do it. The Evanston Wildcats victorious over the Deerfield Warriors. 31-0 here at Adams Field. And I'm Drew Wyler, joined alongside Brody Sheffrin. Join us next week for what should be an even more eventful evening against the Maine South Hawks. Brody, what is your big takeaways from this game?
I was very impressed with the way Evanston came out of a defensive end from the start. They were very disciplined in their tackling. They did a fantastic job limiting this Deerfield offense all night long. And while some of it can be attributed to the struggles of the Warrior offense. You got to give credit where credit is due. Fantastic job by this Wildcat defense and coaching staff, and not much else to say about the way the Warriors played this game. We talked about their defense, but it'll be an interesting game next week on senior night against Maine South. We'll be there for it, and look forward to seeing you then.
Yep. We'll be signing off. Again, Drew Weiner, joined alongside Brody Sheffer, and thank you for tuning in for Warrior Football. We'll be back next week.